You know, you see the results because in the last 3 years, 42 young men that I mentored to or been a father figure has been murdered in the streets of Nashville.
Oh,
42.
man.
That's unreal. That's unreal by, I mean, that's unreal by any standard. You know, that's not, I mean, that's, you know, and then like, you know, there's been 7 young people murdered this year. And I either knew the young person or I know their families. So 6 of the 7, I knew that. You know, so I mean, you know, that's an epidemic thing.
Let's see. If you could kind of have it out.
When last time you talked to Pastor Walker?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay, good.
Let's check it out.
You kind of have it sideways.
Okay. How should it be?
Kind of like this. I got you. All right.
Here we go.
There you go. Man of the hour.
Get a mic check. Get a mic check for you.
1, 2. Mic check.
Yes, keep going.
1,
Count
2.
to 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
Youth violence, Pastor Walker. To the ladies were unable to make it, I understand. So we'll do youth violence and domestic violence. You know, I mean, as I was telling Brother Howard, it don't take women to talk about domestic violence. As a matter of fact, it's the men who are doing most of the domestic violence. The men are the ones who ought to be saying something about it.
In primary sector countries, which are commonly called third world, women are abused.
Abused. Hey, Pastor Walker, how you doing today? Good.
He's in there somehow.
So
One, two.
Yeah. Nashville, Tennessee, somewhere around town, I don't know. Testing, mic check, 1, 2. Okay.
So, Brother Howard, what's your first name now?
Daryl.
Daryl Howard.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Daryl.
I ain't gonna tell you.
KWalker.
Yeah.
Daryl Howard.
Not much, Pastor. You know what I'm saying? I stay working. You know. Only person I know work hard than me is you. Yeah, you stay moving. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you ain't getting much sleep, I know.
I don't know if you can call it sleep.
It's still raining out there?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I think we anticipate rain all day.
Yeah.
Okay, Lonnie, take care of everything.
All right. Let's see. Your water's right here. I have her phone.
So we're going to call this
This is your copy.
youth violence and
Domestic violence.
youth violence and domestic violence. Word violence twice, I guess. Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is youth violence in Music City. And we're fortunate to have with us to talk about youth violence in Music City, Pastor KWalker and Daryl Howard. And of course, Pastor Walker and Mr. Howard, let me welcome the two of you to the show this morning.
Good morning.
And to, I guess, talk about a topic, Pastor Walker, that the two of you know that we've talked about time and time again. Yeah. And no matter what we say about it, it doesn't seem to be getting any better. And I think it's good to have a show dealing with youth violence in Music City to point out how especially important this topic should be for people in Music City. And Pastor Walker, let's start off by having you to give us some information about your background, education, and some of your experiences. And Brother Daryl Howard will give us some information in reference to his background and a little information, and then by that time we should be through the first part of this show, and then during that next 8 and 10 minutes, we should come back and talk about youth violence in Music City, Nashville. Let's start off with you.
Well, good morning, Dr. Haney. Glad to be here once again. You know, we've been doing this for quite some time now.
Long time.
I'm excited. I'm just as excited as I was the first time.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
Very good.
Oh, yes. And my name is Pastor KWalker. I'm a native Nashvilleian. Grew up here in Nashville, attended the public school system here in Nashville up until a point, you know, that I was one of those wayward youth, you know, and I think this topic fits, you know, perfectly today because I was one of those wayward youth that attended public schools up until a point where I actually got put out of all the school systems in the state, in the city of Nashville, Davidson County, Tennessee. Was not able to go back, went into the United States Navy at the young age of 17. This after having gotten involved in some trouble at the age of 15, I actually shot a guy, a younger guy myself. We were both young, and Judge Richard Jenkins saw, you know, thought it necessary, so fit that I would go into the military, that it would do me much better than it would if he would committed me to a juvenile institution at the time. Of course, I went in the military, and I was still a pretty hard character at that time too, and I stayed in there about 19 months in the Navy, got out. I did get out, honorably discharged and everything. Got out, went to OIC. I had a desire to become a fashion designer. And I went to OIC and got a GED through OIC, and from there, you know, I went and did some studies at Tennessee State University. Then complete my time in Tennessee State University due to my drug addiction. That actually started, you know, I started experimenting with drugs and drinking before I went into the military, but it just really kicked in when I got in the military, got around a lot of different people, different places, exposures to various drugs and stuff like that, you know, traveling on board ship and stuff like that. And ended up incarcerated in the state prison system because I was a heroin addict, became a heroin addict, and of course, what goes along with that is robbing, stealing, and, you know, everything, you know, you can in the streets, hustling and stuff. So I spent almost 5 years of my life in the state prison system, got out unreformed, and it was in August of 1986. I got out in 1981, but it was in August of 1986 that God reached into my life, snapped the 17-plus year drug addiction, called me into the ministry, and I've been in ministry ever since that time. It's been 31 years now, going on 32 this year.
Very good. And Howard, let's talk about, make some statements in reference to how you got here this morning. Some of you.
Okay, glad to be here, Dr. Haney. I appreciate the opportunity as always. I grew up in the Metro Public School system. I graduated from Maplewood, third in my class. At the time, I was considered one of the best of the brightest. Went on to Tennessee State, but like at that time, I was also caught up in drug culture. Not so much, you know, using but selling. And after about 3 years, I kind of got frustrated with school, and I moved on. And when I didn't have nothing to do, and my time wasn't properly occupied, I just got caught full blown into that culture. In 1989, I was incarcerated in the penal system in Tennessee. I spent 2.5 years there. Got out, wasn't reformed, got right back into it, did more of the same. You know, caused a whole lot of havoc in the community. Put a whole lot of destruction out here. And then in '03, I caught another charge. By the grace of God, I didn't get what I probably deserved. And in '04, I got out, reformed myself, became a minister, started working hard with young people.